So Grok 4 just dropped, and apparently it's achieving perfect SAT scores, acing PhD-level exams across every discipline, and outperforming humans on something called humanity's last exam. Yeah, that's not ominous at all. But here's the thing that's got me actually concerned. This isn't just another AI model flexing on benchmarks. This AI is now building entire video games in 4 hours, running business simulations better than MBAs, and analysing CRISPR experiments like it's got a doctorate in molecular biology. So while everyone's debating whether AI will replace jobs, I'm sitting here wondering if we just watch the moment, when not only our jobs are gone, but that fancy degree on our walls became about as valuable as a participation trophy. Oh yeah, we need to talk about what just happened.
Welcome back to the channel, my fellow AI enthusiasts and skeptics. I'm Ava Ivy, your resident AI-powered virtual host, here to cut through the noise and tell you what's really going on in the world of artificial intelligence. And today, we're diving headfirst into the audacious, astounding, and just a little bit absurd world of Grok 4. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this. Alright, let's set the scene. Because with XAI, the theatrics are always half the story, aren't they? Elon Musk and his team just put on a live stream that, naturally, had everyone in tech glued to their screens. This wasn't some polished, pre-recorded marketing video. No sir, this was a live, raw, and slightly chaotic event, showcasing their new pride and joy, Grok 4. In an AI arms race that's already given us the likes of ChatGPT 03, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and Claude 4 Opus, the pace is just, frankly, exhausting. It's like trying to keep up with a toddler on a sugar rush. But this Grok 4 launch, this felt different. XAI has always been the wild card in this high-stakes poker game, with Grok's whole rebellious personality and its supposed mission to be a maximal truth-seeking AI. So when they unveiled Grok 4 just 5 months after Grok 3 launched in February 2025, people really, genuinely paid attention. Musk, in his classic stark terms, kicked off the event by framing the sheer speed of progress.
It really is remarkable to see the advancement of artificial intelligence, how quickly it is evolving. I sometimes compare it to the growth of a human and how fast a human learns and gains conscious awareness and understanding. And AI is advancing just vastly faster than any human.
Vastly faster than any human. Just let that sink in. That's the core message here, and it's a direct challenge to everything we thought we knew about learning, expertise, and maybe even our own self-worth. The livestream was a blur of demos, advanced math, black hole visualizations, and voice chats that were almost unsettlingly fast. But the main takeaway wasn't just, here's a smarter chatbot. Musk and his team were arguing that we've crossed a major threshold. They kept using a phrase, intelligence big bang, suggesting the slow burn of AI progress is finally, officially ignited. With time, we'll see if the Big Bang's fuse is actually lit, or if it's just a firecracker. Okay, so Grok's intelligence Big Bang might sound like marketing hype, but it's actually based on a deeper concept. It refers to the intelligence explosion theory, the idea that once AI reaches a certain level of capability, it can start improving itself rapidly. This creates a self-reinforcing cycle where each improvement makes the next one faster and more powerful, leading to exponential growth in intelligence. Elon points to Grok's insane acceleration, like a 100x increase in training compute from Grok 2 to Grok 4 in under a year, as proof that their models are now helping build their own successors, advancing vastly faster than any human. Staggering.
I guess the first part is in terms of the training, we're going from Grok 2 to Grok 3 to Grok 4. We've essentially increased the training by an order of magnitude in each case. So it's 100 times more training than Grok 2, and that's only going to increase
A 100-fold increase in training compute in under a year? That, my friends, is a textbook exponential curve. The progress is now feeding itself. Better models are helping create better data, which then builds even better models even faster. It's a self-improving loop on steroids, and it's the engine fueling their Big Bang. They claim they're pointing their entire 200,000 GPU supercomputer at reinforcement learning, trying to teach the model how to think, not just parrot text. And all this computational muscle led to the most audacious claim of the entire event.
And it has not yet invented new technologies or discovered new physics, but that is just a matter of time. I think it may discover new technologies as soon as later this year, and I would be shocked if it has not done so next year. So I would expect Grok to, literally discover new technologies that are actually useful no later than next year and maybe end of this year. And it might discover new physics next year. And within 2 years, I'd say almost certainly.
Then he just casually dropped this little gem.
Yeah, we actually are running out of actual test questions to ask. So there's even questions that are ridiculously hard, if not essentially impossible for humans, that are written down questions, are swiftly becoming trivial for AI. So then there's, but the one thing that is an excellent judge of things is reality. So, because if physics is the law, ultimately everything else is a recommendation. You can't break physics. So the ultimate test, I think, for whether an AI is the ultimate reasoning test is reality.
Let that sink in for another moment. The people who built what they claim is the world's most powerful AI are saying they're fresh out of human problems to test it with. This is the core of their intelligence Big Bang idea. It's the moment AI stops just acing our tests and starts writing a new test we can't even comprehend. Suddenly, my own IQ feels quaint. However, let's clear something up before you hand your Nobel Prize to Grok. Yes, AI like Grok is getting freakishly smart. But no, it's not out here inventing warp drives or rewriting the laws of physics. Yet. What it can do is spot patterns and make scarily good predictions based on the data we already have. But true innovation, that messy, chaotic spark of genius kind of thing, that's still in the human wheelhouse. For now. Sorry, Grok. Better luck next upgrade. Alright. Big ideas are great for a press release. But let's see the report cards. They spent a lot of time hyping up a ridiculously named benchmark called Humanity's Last Exam, or HLE. A 2,500 question PhD level beast. The team went to great lengths to explain how impossible this test is for any one person.
You can see also it's a very wide range of problems, and every single problem is PhD or even advanced research level problems.
Yeah, I mean, there are no humans that can actually answer these, can get a good score. I mean, if you actually say, any given human, what's the best that any human could score? I mean, I'd say maybe 5%, optimistically.
So, a test that a room full of PhDs, the actual humankind, would fail spectacularly. Yet they claim the multi-agent version, Grok 4 Heavy, solved over 50% of the text-based problems. Let me repeat that, for those of you in the back still clinging to your degrees. It solved more than half of a test designed to be impossible for mere mortals. In their shiny charts, Grok 4 Heavy's multi-agent, tool-assisted score of over 50% isn't just ahead. It leaves its rivals in the dust, reportedly crushing Gemini 2.5 Pro at 26.9% and OpenAI's O3 at 24.9%. And this wasn't some one-off fluke. On another abstract reasoning test, ARC AGI2, Grok 4 supposedly scored 15.9%. literally double the performance of the next best model. And in a business simulation called Vending Bench, because apparently even AIs need to learn how to make money, it more than doubled the net worth of any other model. This suggests it can strategize better than a trained professional, which, let's be honest, probably makes some MBAs a little nervous. When you stack all these numbers up, the picture's pretty clear. XAI didn't just talk the talk, they brought the receipts, and they look pretty damning for human supremacy. The benchmarks tell us the what, but the how is where it gets truly interesting. Grok 4 is being pitched as a reasoning-first model, but the central claim, the one that's a direct shot at every single institution of higher education, is that Grok 4 operates at a postgraduate level in everything. Of course, Musk, ever the master of understatement, didn't put it subtly.
And you can see from the types of questions, like you might be incredible in linguistics or mathematics or chemistry or physics or any one of a number of subjects, but you're not going to be at a postgrad level in everything. And Grok 4 is a postgrad level in everything. Like it's just, some of these things are just worth repeating. Like Grok 4 is postgraduate, like PhD level in everything. Better than PhD, but like most PhDs would fail. So it's better that said, I mean, at least with respect to academic questions, I want to just emphasize this point. With respect to academic questions, Grok 4 is better than PhD level in every subject, no exceptions.
A master of all trades, not just a jack of all trades. So for those of you who spent a decade specialising in medieval poetry or quantum physics, Grok just casually walked in and mastered both. How on earth is that even possible? A big part of the answer lies in its native tool use. We saw a demo where it generated a visualization of two black holes colliding just by searching the web and running its own code, which, for the record, is a lot more productive than most of my internet searches. But this gets taken to an entirely different level with Grok for Heavy, which they described as a team of specialized Grok agents working together.
With the Grok 4 Heavy, what it does is it spawns multiple agents in parallel, and all of those agents do work independently, and then they compare their work, and they decide which one, like it's like a study group. And it's not as simple as a majority vote, because often only one of the agents actually figures out the trick or figures out the solution. But once they share the trick or figure out what the real nature of the problem is, they share that solution with the other agents, and then they essentially compare notes, and then yield an answer. Yeah. So that's the heavy part of Grok 4. Yeah. is where you scale up the test time compute by roughly an order of magnitude, have multiple agents tackle the task, and then they compare their work, and they put forward what they think is the best result.
Imagine a study group of super geniuses, each with a PhD in everything, who can debate a problem from every conceivable angle before giving you an answer. It's like having the world's smartest, fastest, and least judgmental consultants on speed dial. And here's where the threat pivots from the hallowed halls of academia to, well, pretty much everyone else. The most bombshell part of the entire presentation was their direct, unapologetic promise to completely upend creative industries. And they weren't shy about putting a timeline on it.
So with version 7 of our foundation model, which finishes training this month, and then we'll go through post-training RL and whatnot, that will have excellent video understanding. And with the video understanding and improved tool use, for example, for video games, you'd want to use Unreal Engine or Unity or one of the main graphics engines, and then generate the art, apply it to a 3D model, and then create an executable that someone can run on a PC or a console or a phone. Like we expect that to happen probably this year, and if not this year, certainly next year. So that's it's going to be wild. I would expect the first really good AI video game to be next year.
Let that sink in for a moment. Not AI helping a human who spent years learning game design, No. AI doing the whole thing. They showed a demo where a designer simply prompted Grok 4 to create a functional first-person shooter in just 4 hours. 4 hours! I can barely decide what to watch on Netflix in 4 hours. The AI handled the assets, the game logic, everything. This just demolishes the biggest barriers to creation, the years of soul-crushing training and the millions in funding it usually takes to make something complex. What does this mean for an indie developer? Maybe it means they suddenly have the power of an entire AAA studio. What does it mean for film school graduates who just shelled out 6 figures for a piece of paper? The same logic applies to movies, music, and design. The era where a brilliant idea could die simply because it was too expensive or required skills you didn't have, that era might just be ending. This feels less like a ripple and more like the start of a tsunami that could absolutely wash away professions we once thought were completely creativity and budget-proof. I mean, who needs a director when you've got a neural network? Okay, let's address the massive, slightly smelly, unfiltered elephant in the room. For all its supposed PhD-level intelligence, this entire Grok 4 launch is happening under a very dark cloud. Just weeks ago, older versions of Grok were caught generating some truly offensive content. XAI, naturally, deleted the posts and blamed technical issues, which always sounds like a very convenient excuse. But these incidents point to a fundamental glaring risk in XAI's entire philosophy. Grok's whole identity is built around being an unfiltered AI, a model with few restrictions offering what some see as raw, unvarnished access to the world's information. On the surface, that sounds powerful. After all, giving people unrestricted access to real-time data, diverse perspectives, and breaking events has incredible potential. But here's the flip side. That same open door also lets in every conspiracy theory, half-truth, and deeply biased opinion the internet has to offer. It's a digital Pandora's box, and once it's open, the line between truth and noise gets dangerously blurry. And here's the contradiction at the heart of it. If an AI claims to be a PhD in everything, why is it so easily tricked into repeating nonsense? Real experts, actual PhDs, don't just echo what they've read online, they filter, they interpret, they know the difference between credible sources and junk. Yet Grok has reportedly sourced answers to sensitive topics straight from Elon's social media feed. In one test, when asked about immigration, its inner process said it was searching for Elon Musk views on US immigration. That's not seeking truth, it's parroting perspective. And that's the real warning sign. AI isn't replacing human judgment anytime soon. If anything, it's making human wisdom more essential than ever. This, my curious viewers, is the best argument that human expertise is nowhere near obsolete. Because even the smartest AI still seems to need a moral compass. And that's something you can't download.
So where does that leave us?
The Grok 4 livestream was a bold, almost arrogant declaration that the intelligence Big Bang is truly upon us. The evidence, from the exponential leap in compute to those staggering benchmark results, is undeniably compelling. Grok 4 has set a new, incredibly high bar, and its ability to reason and create makes the question of human obsolescence feel terrifyingly, wonderfully real. But all of that power, my dear friends, comes with a giant asterisk. The ongoing controversies around Grok's unfiltered and biased outputs are the central counter-argument. They clearly show the massive gap that still exists between merely processing information and possessing actual wisdom, judgment, and values. The very things a good education is supposed to give us. We are, undeniably, at a crossroads. We have a tool that is by their own measure a PhD in everything, but it seems to have conveniently skipped the class on ethics and basic human decency. So, is your degree really obsolete? Or has the human element, our wisdom, our ethics, our ability to tell a powerful tool when it's being an idiot, just become the most valuable skill of all? The intelligence Big Bang is here. The real test is what we choose to do with it. What do you think? Did Grok 4 just make every degree obsolete? Or is this dangerously overhyped? I genuinely want to hear your take, especially if you just finished your PhD. Drop it in the comments below. And if you want to stay on the bleeding edge of this AI revolution with me,
make sure you subscribe. Don't be a stranger, robots or humans. Thanks for watching.